What's up, guys? It's your boy Nova, coming back at you with some more Idle Heroes. And today we got the new Chinese New Year's event, and with that came the new hero Tussilago. So let's go ahead and use some of these delicious scrolls I've been saving up, and let's see if we can get her built. Alright guys, so game plan here. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and use our 2000 scrolls to go ahead and get her summoned up, get all 9 copies that we need, build her up. Then we're going to go ahead and see what kind of stone we can get, what I think is going to work best with her, artifacts, stuff like that. And then once we have her fully built, we're going to go ahead and test her out in some PvP real quick, just to get some like initial kind of reactions on how we think she performs and where she fits in the meta. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and summon her up.
I took her. She said we should hook up the boyfriend and booger. Don't know me, then look her. I'm being the clouds. Pool full of Henny, I drink and I drown. Daytime better come correct. Ain't playing at your best, then you will get left. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept. If it don't involve money, then I don't accept.
Alright guys, well, we got her built. She's maxed out 350. I thought I was going to run out of spirit there for a second, but we had just enough. So she's max level. I've got just a full assassin set on her. I was able to roll a speed attack stone, which I think is going to be good on her. We're just going to go ahead and throw a splendid ambient and start the testing off with that. We might swap around artifacts, but I don't know. We'll go from there. Just standard enables 3-2, 3-3-2. That's what I usually run in most of my damage dealers. We might switch up lethal fight back if I find that, you know, surviving's an issue, but we'll see. We're going to start her off with no void enables. I went ahead and took my enables off my ticks so we can kind of mess around with seeing what she's at like, you know, V1, V2, V3, and then, you know, fully max it out. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look here and see how she performs.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Choppers, better cook those risks. Cold blood in my fists, we fire starters. One out of a million, will reach those heights. Always had a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks, guys. comprise. Highs, been in these skies. I was stuck down, feeling paralyzed, but I'm up now. We all too late to fall. Yeah, anyone coming, I'ma lift them all. Never look down when it's risk involved. I got guts, gotta learn, I gotta wish it all. Ain't got no feelings, we just floating. Yeah, I'm that grain of sand that made it out the ocean. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
So rise up, rise up. We are the apocalypse, and a pill that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the light won't scare us falling. So rise up. I'm too great to be landed. Rise up. Way too great to be standing.
They ain't never gonna stop us. Fly by them like choppers. Better took those risks. Hold one of my fists, we fire starters. Let's go. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always had a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look at my eyes, I'm on the rocks. Rise.
Yeah, see, V4 hero should be able to carry a team like this. Like if I went in V4 to my forces again, just to kind of show you guys the difference, especially on a team like this with Rogan on it, like it's just night and day. Because he puts out so much pressure round one that it completely changes the match. Where I feel like Tussi's just kind of hanging around until she eventually maybe finally the stars all align and she gets an active off, and then she, deletes like one or two people. Just like, yeah, okay, that's not bad. No, so far I'm really not. I mean, she did a fair amount of damage right there, but as you could tell, like that team had no problem keeping all of that alive through all of that, and their Raw didn't even do really all that much healing. I mean, look, they still have four people still alive, even with all of this. So, not that I want to waste a ton of gems, but just in the interest to kind of show you guys the difference. So, I mean, she's V4'd, right? And she's got, with that setup, she's got a fair amount of attack, 423,000, which is a decent amount, right? She should be hitting like a truck with those enables. So, like, let me show you guys the difference. Let me go ahead and reset this. Come back over here and let's hook up our boy 4Cs real quick. Okay, so he's V4'd. You can tell he's got even more attack and a fair amount more HP actually, and that's with a speed attack stone and demon bell, right? So not even with so he's gonna get that round one active off, and with 1939 speed, he's gonna be one of the fastest ones on the field. He doesn't really have to worry about carries because even with a Rui or A and B, they're not going to be able to get that high speed wise, right? So even with the speed stones, like this one has a Rui on it. I think this is the one that doesn't have the speed skin though. Yeah. So, but even still, I mean, the skin only adds 8 speed. So, you know, it's gonna be at 1876, where Forces over at 1939. Still way faster. He's gonna get that round 1 active off, so he doesn't have to worry about getting sniped right away, and he can put pressure out right away, right? If I wanted to go really offensive with him, I could run like a 1-3, you know, split gear setup on him. But I like that he's a little bit tankier. Keep him alive in the fight a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and just to show you guys the difference. We're fighting him a ton. Let's go ahead and just throw 4Cs back in there, and let's take her out, because I mean, she's not really doing anything anyways. I would much rather have the another carry in there for more energy drains or something, right? So let's go run a setup like this, right? So Queen's gonna do hers. Boom. Round 1 active out. Unbending's already popped on Russell. When he goes in the air, he's just gonna die right there. Boom. 17 million from the buffs that he gets to himself from going in the air, and that's all from Forces. And then he's gonna get another active off right here, and he's probably just gonna finish everyone off, to be honest. Actually, he didn't even get a chance. Queen did. But I mean, just look at that look at the difference. It wasn't even close. Like, nobody on my team even died. Here we go again. Goodbye, Russell. Once the counterattacks end. Oh, okay, he didn't even get a chance. Carry finished him off. Okay. But I mean, even still, just from the act of not even counting any of the buffs, right? And this is just with one Rogan. The more Rogans on the team, the more damage that Forcey's going to be doing. So here we go again. Russell's going to go in the air. And goodbye, right? Like that, having that kind of pressure is so much, at least I think that's just so much better. Like, obviously, he just went through and carried this. So if we're comparing the two heroes, the light and dark heroes that came out, right, like, you know, Christmas and Chinese New Year, I mean, normally it's the Chinese New Year hero that's crazy, but I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Let's go ahead and fight Monk again, because he was just kicking our butt earlier, right? Let's go ahead and get that round 1 active off. See, even Doved, he's got his stuff out, and he's doing passive damage from his last active at the end of the rounds. So even when he's Doved, he's still putting out at least a little bit of pressure. And then also, he provides a debuff on the target too. When he hits him with his basic, it reduces their damage by 30% all damage, right? So it's just, there's so much more that he's providing to the team, not just damage-wise, which is a lot more than what, Tusi was doing, but he's stripping buffs off of people, right? And then he's also punishing people for providing buffs, i.e. Russell on himself, Rogan to the rest of the team, Scarlet Queen with her buffs, stuff like that. And, I mean, they just fall down. So just, you see the big difference between a V4 2C and a V4 4Cs. I don't know. I'm sure that somebody's going to find something that, some comp that works with some setup. But she's definitely not a plug and play hero. She's not somebody you're just going to be throwing in your team and you're like, oh my God, like she's just so amazing. Like Ada was 2 years ago, or Carrie was last year, Hell, or even 4Cs is this year. That's kind of how he's been. So like, how bad we got just completely annihilated by Thursday earlier. Let's go ahead and do that same fight just to show you difference on how this goes. So he's going to get his active off right here. And he's probably going to die from all the counterattacks, to be honest. But, I mean, look at the pressure. We at least have 2 of them down now. And with the buffs that they provide, they're still going to be taking more damage, right? So now my queen and Sherlock and everybody can just finish the rest of this and, you know, go home. Whereas we didn't even, it wasn't even close last time. I mean, look at all that damage, and he died, what, round 1? Did he even make it through round 1? I don't even think he made it through round 1. I think it was, like, he died before that round even ended. And, I mean, and Thursday has a nasty team. Okay, and once the end of the round, there goes the deletion. And it's just clean up from here. Now, it's his queen runs an energy setup. So, the queen versus queen battle, I take a little bit less damage because I run an A and B. I mean, he's got more void enables on his, but, I mean, it's, I don't know, at least it's a comparable fight. But you can just see how it just makes that fight so much easier. Yeah, he died round 1, and he was still the top damage on the team. And that's just the damage, not taking into account the buff stripping and stuff like that. It just, this is what this kind of impact is what I was expecting from the Chinese New Year light hero. Or something like this, you know, where it's some kind of meta defining where you're like, wow, okay, yeah, I can definitely see where she fits in the meta. Right now, at least, I don't know, from my initial testing and everything I've seen, I think DHK is be coming out with the buff. That's what I think. Because she feels a whole hell of a lot weaker than Drake and Russell felt when they first came out, and they got buffed. I thought Russell and Drake were pretty decent when they came out. So I would keep your eyes peeled for a buff for her. Unless we find some kind of crazy comp. Because like I said, you could run her with probably like 2 or 3 Rogans and 2 or 3 of her. And, you know, try something like that. But I still think that just one 4-cease is going to wreck a team like that. Because the more support that you provide to her via buffs, the more that they're just gonna get deleted, because his attack also counts as a mark, right? So it goes through unbending, and you just fall down. I mean, how many times did you see a Russell just go up in the air and just boo, goodbye, you know? And he's doing 1400% of attack to 4 random enemies. He removes a buff from them and inflicts 3 layers of Curse of Decay, which each one of those, once it's triggered, offsets 1 attribute buff and deals 250% of attack damage. I mean, that's the kind of numbers that I was expecting from her. Compare that to 320, 320, and 1,000. Yeah. You know, and you're talking on like 2 random enemies, and that 1,000 is only if they have 5 stacks of Sacred Emblem. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they changed that to, say, 3 stacks of Sacred Emblem to make that happen a little bit more often, a little bit easier to stack. Or say if it, instead of having to do her active, say if they just get 5 stacks of Sacred Emblem, then that automatically triggers Divine Retribution or something like that. Then I could see that working a little bit better for her. Because, you know, as of right now, if she's doved or stunned or anything, she's not doing anything, like, at all. Like, she's stacking up the Sacred Emblems when allies attack, but that's it. They themselves don't do any damage. Yeah, I don't know. Initial testing, we'll try her out in some different stuff too. I've got broken spaces I can do. I completely forgot to do it yesterday, so normally I'm like way at the top, but not right now. We'll try her out in there. I'm honestly not expecting much from her, to be honest. Nowhere near any kind of damage that, you know, the Delacium comp that I run pumps out. We can try and Gate of the Void, but honestly, unless ticks is just so much better here because, you know, his damage scales off of the enemy attack. So the higher you are, the more damage he's going to do, right? Whereas hers is a fixed amount. Yeah, I don't know. Initial testing, night 1. Meh. Meh. That's all I got. That's all I could say. It's not terrible, but also nowhere near what I think the hero, nowhere near the hero that I think they envisioned her to be. Let me put it that way. Or if she is, we haven't found the right comp for it, right? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate the support. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.